Our road trip to Nova Scotia. So we always start off in Mallory Town for a bathroom break and grab some food and drinks and stuff. So that's our first stop. And all along, all the way through Quebec, it was just beautiful blue skies, nice and bright, white puffy clouds. Everything was awesome. Loved it. We didn't realize how mountainous it was, and then we arrived in Nova Scotia.
Well, we're in Nova Scotia, and this is the weather. Pure rain.
Needless to say, we were quite disappointed, and we thought, oh my God, please don't tell me that it's going to be like this the whole time we're here. This is absolutely horrendous. It's terrible. I mean, we were driving for hours on end, and it was like that. And we really thought that it was going to be pretty uneventful driving for, 11 hours or so, 12 hours, something like that. And then, had to have some fresh fish at a restaurant, and this is the motel that we stayed at, Le Motel. It was alright, it was just a place to rest our heads, and then the next day, the tide was out, and it was absolutely unbelievable. I mean, as far as you could see was just sand. The water from the bay and the ocean was so far away, and I mean, we've never experienced anything like this before. And it was absolutely mind-boggling. I still I still can't believe how far out the tide actually goes, and that's the bottom of the ocean floor, which is solid sand. Which was absolutely phenomenal. And this was in Yarmouth, or no, I can't remember how they pronounce it. Um, Absolutely beautiful. And this was actually, we made a quick pit stop at the Swiss Air Flight Memorial. Apparently there was a massive catastrophe there. A Swiss Air flight had gone down. I got to do more research on
So
it.
we made it to Nova Scotia, and we're going to be doing some Canada Day celebrations, Nova Scotia style.
And this was the venue for the fireworks, which lasted all of 6 minutes because there were, I guess they had a remote, they were powering the boat that was firing off the fireworks. They were using the battery on a truck to power that, and I guess the battery died because about 6 minutes into the fireworks, whole bunch of people with flashlights were looking in the engine bay of the truck and trying to figure out exactly what was going on, and no more fireworks fired up. But I mean, this is pretty much the best of the fireworks, and this is all shot handheld. This was the best that I was able to muster up. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty comical. Oh, so many mosquitoes though. And now for the big deal.
So just waiting for the ferry to arrive so we can drive on and then head across the water there and then drive again to the marine biology boat and then off to go whale watching. Yay!
So this is while we were waiting for the very first ferry to cross. I spotted this lighthouse, and I shot this with the Pentax DFA 150-450. And there's the ferry that's transporting the vehicles across, so we had to wait for that to show up to bring us back over where you see it sitting pretty much now. So this was the final shot just before we boarded the ferry, and now here comes the ferry.
So I need to make a correction. There's actually two ferries that you need to take to get across to the whale watching area. So we finally crossed over on the second ferry, and we're just parked at the general store, which, let's turn around here. There's the general store, and my wife, our daughter, and my wife's best friend are just inside dealing with getting the tickets and everything, and we will be on our way momentarily.
Now, I am going to let you know that as soon as we got on the boat and I realized how close or far the whales were, I decided I was going to switch lenses, which almost made me lose one of the images in here. This is pretty much how close the whales were getting to the boat. We ended up on a Zodiac boat, which is one of those high-speed rescue boats with the inflatable sides. So you have to sit on the side and hold a rope. There's no seats. Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking at first, but eventually you get used to it, you get comfortable. And I'm not sure if you can see that, but that is the whale exhausting all the air and water out of its whatever nostril thing. And so when I was switching lenses was right when this tail event happened. So I was very lucky to get this shot. But you know, at the same time, I knew it wouldn't have been possible with the DA Star 6250, so I quickly switched to the DFA 150-450. And yeah, we were out for about 45 minutes, and then, you know, before you knew it, it was all over, and we had to wait, you know, head back and wait for the next ferry to take us back across. And that concludes part one, and stay tuned for part two.